All right, perfect. It is recording. All right, welcome to the Your Best Self podcast. This is the very first episode of the Your Best Self podcast, and I'm super excited. My name is Robert Hurt, and today I have the honor to interview Samuel Mojica Jr., who is not only a good friend of mine, but also in a way, one of my mentors who supported me in the journey as I was building my online business. And we're going to hear from Samuel Mojica Jr. in just a few seconds. But, his story is pretty amazing, and he will go into depth about that. But one of the most amazing things that I think Samuel will bring to the table is that he was able to make over $20,000 in just, in a matter of a month, right? And that's something that I want to, go deeper into, and how he was able to do that. What kind of mindset do you need to have in order to pull something like that off? And what kind of challenges did he had during that time, and how did he overcome them? So with that said, Samuel, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time. Please share your story with us.
Thank you. Hey, what's up, Robert? Honestly, man, it's funny. It was just like yesterday where I remember, you joined me in one of the mentoring programs. Mm-hmm. You made your first $1,000, and I introduced you. And I just feel honored that now the tables have turned and now you're interviewing me, right? So exactly. I'm very honored to be here, man. Now, there's a couple moments in our lives that we go through a pivotal moment, right? And there was one moment in particular for me that was very, very important. It actually shaped the rest of my life, right? So I want to take you guys back to that moment. And I still remember very clearly. I remember I was in my room and my mom knocked on the door. She told me, Sam, get out the room, pack up your stuff, put it in the car. Now, I didn't ask a lot of questions. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's happening. I packed everything up. We put it in the car. And when we backed out the driveway, I looked to my left. My mom's behind the wheel driving. I looked to my left. We parked. And I was wondering, like, wait, why did we park? And wait, why is everything in the trunk? I looked to my left and I saw my mom break down crying. And my sister was crying. And I was like, it dawned on me. I'm like, Mom, did we just lose our home? And my mom just told me, yeah. We just lost our home. And, she was like, oh my God, this never happened to us before, all that stuff. So I was 20 years old at the time, and I was in a position where I didn't have money. I wasn't going to college. I was basically like a bum, but off the streets, right? I wasn't doing anything. And I didn't have any real goals or anything at the time. It was that day, right? I still remember so clearly. Once she was, I had to, so that moment when you go through all this emotion, and when you have like that lump in your throat. I felt that lump in my throat because my whole life I grew up with the lessons of a man doesn't cry. A man doesn't cry. A man must stay strong. A man can't show emotion outwardly. That's probably not good advice, but it's the advice I grew up with for 20 years. Right? So I didn't know how to express the emotion. And it wasn't until later that day when we went to my mom's best friend's house, I went to the mirror. Right, I went to the bathroom. I needed to let it out, dude. Like after holding it, I needed to let it out. I went to the bathroom, and I let it all out. Right? I was bawling, completely ugly face, and I remember looking at my eyes in the mirror, and I lost respect for the guy I saw because I had a moment of clarity where I'm like, Sam, you have no job, you're not going to college. What are you even doing with your life? Yeah. What are you doing with yourself? And I made a decision that day that I'm going to surrender my pride and ego, and I'm going to just go get a job. I'm going to go get a job, and I'm going to not only help my mom out with bills, something that was even equally as important to that, I needed to build up my confidence again. Because once you're at rock bottom, you lost your house, you failed your family, you have no money. That's it. Like, there's nothing else to lose. You're as low as it can be, right? And your self-confidence is even below that. Your self-confidence is shredded, done. But there's a positive to that your ego also gets shredded with it. So now you're in this moment of humbleness of, you know what? Stop trying to be somebody you're not. I'm just going to be focused. So I got the job at a bread factory. That's the only job that was hiring at the time for minimum wage. And a little bit about a bread factory job or any factory job. It's not like McDonald's or a fast food chain where you work, anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. You work 10 hours minimum at the factory. So they own you. 10 hours minimum. I came in at the time where it was around December, January. So it was more like 12 to 14-hour days because during the holidays, we were making bread. All the restaurants are ordering an insane amount of bread, right? And it was 12 to 14 hours every single day. So at the bread factory, I learned the values of hard work. What I also learned was that I had this potential in me that I wasn't able to tap into with the bread factory job. Do you know what I mean? Where
Yeah,
you do
absolutely.
something and you're like, fuck, dude, I'm way more over.
Yeah,
I'm more
you know there is something deep inside you that you have more potential, but because you
exactly,
have to work, because you need this money right now, you cannot work
exactly.
on different things,
Yeah.
and it's
And
just
I
like
didn't
eating
know
you
what
from the
that thing
inside.
was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that thing was
Yeah.
at the time. I
hmm
just knew it was there. I knew I
Yeah.
had a certain energy. I learned fast. I was a fast worker.
hmm
I learned at the bread factory that I don't complain.
Yeah.
I do not complain about anything
hmm
because when you've been at the bottom, you're grateful for every little step that's above that bottom. You're
Right.
grateful for everything. I was completely
mm
grateful just for the fact that I had a job. I was grateful for
Yeah.
everything. So and that was actually a good habit of not
mm
complaining, of just doing the work, keeping your head
Yes.
down,
Yes.
showing up. I learned the value of
Absolutely.
showing up
hmm
every single day, right? Even when you're sick, you show up every day,
Yeah.
right? Even when I was sick, I would show up and work at least for like 3 or 4 hours. I would still
mm
show up until
Yeah.
I can't go anymore and I just go,
Yeah.
right? But you show up.
hmm
And I remember at the time, I was about 2 or 3 months in, I started reading audiobooks
hmm
because I knew I had this potential, but I didn't know how to tap into it.
hmm
And I wasn't born in a rich family. I wasn't born with a spoon in my mouth. Right?
Yeah.
I was raised as a guy that, be happy for everything you have.
hmm
Don't be picky. Right?
hmm
I was born in an upper lower class family.
Yeah.
Right? And in that environment, when I was at the bread factory, I made a decision, and I'm glad
hmm
I had this clarity that I wanted to get more. But I
mm
learned that in order for me to get more, right, I have to be more
Yep.
mentally,
hmm
right? I have to develop my mindset, right? My mindset needs to develop. I need to change, right? In order for your life to change, you must change. For your life to
Absolutely.
change, you have to change,
hmm
right? And I want you to remember that because later on, remind me
Yeah.
of Sam. Tell me about that dream. Right? There's a dream I had
Yeah.
about it that was crazy,
Uh-huh.
prophetic, really prophetic dream.
All right.
So I started reading Think and Grow Rich. I started reading, all the Napoleon Hill books, all of them.
All
Right?
of
I
them.
had them
All of
all
them.
in
How many
Audible.
are there? How many are there?
Dude, there's a lot.
A
There's
lot.
two in
Wow.
particular though that changed my
Uh-huh.
life. Think and Grow Rich. There was actually one that had the biggest impact on me. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably the best book I've ever read, and I need to read it again.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Okay.
today, I need to
Which
read it
one?
again. It's called How to Raise Your Own Salary by
How to
Napoleon Hill.
raise your own salary. Okay.
It's not
Mm-hmm.
popular at all. It's actually one of his
Mm.
least popular books. It is
Mm.
the best book I've read from him. I've read them all.
Wow.
It is
Nice.
the best book, even better than Think and Grow
Awesome.
Rich, in my
Okay.
opinion. Right?
Okay.
So that book, it was Napoleon Hill interviewing Andrew Carnegie.
Mm.
The actual interview, as in,
Mm-hmm.
it's in the whole book is just question answers,
Wow.
question
That's
answers,
awesome.
question
Mm-hmm.
answers. So it kind of became like my guide into
Mm-hmm.
developing the wealthy mindset because Napoleon Hill would ask Andrew Carnegie, "Hey, what do you believe are the principles to success?" And
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Carnegie would just give the principles, would just literally
Yeah.
answer them.
Nice.
Right? He talked about the power of masterminding. He talked
Mm-hmm.
about the power of positive affirmations. He talked
Mm-hmm.
about, and it makes sense because think of it, your thoughts, they're made up of what? Your words. Your thoughts are made
Exactly.
up of words. And when you
Mm-hmm.
do positive affirmations, your mind remembers all the words that
Yep.
come out of your mouth.
Mm.
Right? And if you're
Mm-hmm.
speaking positivity at all times, you start thinking positive. And if you're thinking
Mm.
positive, right, the outside just will merely reflect the inside, and now your
Absolutely.
whole life becomes
Yeah.
positive. And I needed that.
And I actually just made a video about how your thoughts shape your life, right? Because if you think
Yeah.
about it, everything starts with a single thought, and it comes down to what, intake do you have? Like, who do you
Yeah.
surround yourself with? Like, what content do you watch? Do you constantly
Exactly.
watch
Yeah.
negativity on TV? That's, what you're going to be thinking about all the time. That's how
Yeah.
you're going to be, getting a feeling, and that's going to turn into certain action, and that's going to give you a certain result,
Yeah.
right?
And
So
I read a
I
book
just did about that.
recently. I read a book recently that really helped. It gave me a more perspective where, because everyone says that your thoughts shape your life, and that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah.
thoughts shape your life, but people forget what makes up your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Your words.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me realize the book talks a lot about it. It's called Law of Attraction by Michael
Mm-hmm.
J. Lozier. And your words are the most important factor to whether you have a positive or negative mind. Because the words that you say merely reflect the thoughts that you're thinking, because your thoughts are just made up of the individual words. Right. And I started really, when I learned, and that's a little bit in the future, but when I learned that, right, it changed my life. Because now, whenever I catch myself thinking negative, like for example, oh man, I don't want to go for a walk. I pause myself and I'm like, wait, so what do I want? What do I want? I want to finish this and I want to walk for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I change my words to think of what do I want. So that, because the thing is that you're either attracting what you want or what you don't want.
Yep.
Right. And what in your words will influence your thoughts, and you're like an antenna. Your brain is like an antenna. There are radio waves all around us. Right. And if you're constantly thinking about what you do not want to do, what you're radiating is I do not want, I do not want, I do not want, and the universe is going to keep giving you
what you don't want. Exactly.
It'll keep it going. It'll keep it going forever.
Exactly.
Right? And that's why some people live their whole life never having achieved anything, just dreaming but never achieving. Yeah. Right? Because of that.
Absolutely.
Anyways, going back to the story before we digress.
Yeah.
I started reading audiobooks, and it was about 7 months into the factory that I was at this mindset point, and I started looking online, to how to earn money online, like how to do it. And thankfully, I never did network marketing. I never did any of the other stuff. I did affiliate marketing. That's the first type of marketing I found. It made the most sense to me. Like, it makes sense.
True. Yeah.
Somebody else creates a product. You sign up to be an affiliate. You promote their product.
Exactly.
And they pay you a cut, 50%.
Yeah, super simple. Yeah.
That's it. No levels, no binary, uni, whatever the hell.
Unicorns, some whatever.
I don't know, man. Just a regular, you have a great product. I drive traffic to it. You pay me my cut, and you handle the support. You handle the whole company. Yep. I'm just a promoter. That's it. Right. And it made sense to me. I'm like, oh my God, I can do this. So how crazy is the universe that when I searched up how to make money online, I found a video of the man who went on to become my mentor, who went on to change my life. The thousands, Robert, because you've been in marketing. You search up how to make money online in affiliate marketing, you're going to find at least
thousands and thousands of pages.
10,000 or more.
Exactly.
Offers all over the internet, ads left and right on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. It's a vortex. It's like a dark hole.
Completely.
Black hole of stuff. So the universe led me to this one man. His name is Darren Little. Darren Little. Now, me, like everyone else probably does, I searched up his name, and I found what you would typically find on anybody who's had success online. There's a lot of positive stuff. There's a lot of negative stuff. I read all of it. I wanted to know all of it. But more important than reading other people's opinions of things, now I learned this from the book, I wanted to actually speak to the man himself. Yeah. So I can, because you can feel somebody's vibe. You can feel their vibration when you talk to them, right? So I found him on Facebook. I added him as a friend, and he was doing a webinar. And I'm like, oh my God. He's like, oh, I'm helping 100 families add $100,000 to their income. I'm like, my family could use 100K. That would change my family's life forever.
Yep.
So I reached out to him. He sent me the link. I registered. And I remember this was on Thursday. I forgot the date, but it was Thursday at 7 p.m. Right now I know because I do webinars at that exact time. Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern. I showed up on that webinar, bro. He opened my eyes. I found out how to do affiliate marketing. I found out about the 7-figure formula. I found out about how do millionaires think. What's different? Because obviously the reason I was broke was because my mindset was broke. It wasn't that. It wasn't so much that, there's no money in my bank and I'm broke. No, it's my mindset is broken. Therefore, my whole life is broke. The money, the relationships, everything. Right? It's a mindset tweak. So I learned about it. I learned how millionaires think. I learned about the abundant mindset. And at the end of that webinar, bro, there was just these 2 testimonials, 3. That it made me realize this is it. This is the man that will change my life. Or you ever get that? You ever?
Absolutely.
Those of you watching this, you've encountered that one or 2 people that you hear their material, you hear what they're talking about, and you just make a decision. This is the person. I feel it. You just feel it somewhere. It's like, it's not in your stomach, a little bit above, like right below, like where your heart at. You feel it in your heart almost.
Yeah.
Like, this is the guy that's going to take me to the promised land. Yeah. Bro, I saw a 17-year-old make $50,000 in 2 months.
Wow.
A 15-year-old, $7,000 his first month.
Crazy.
A mom and a dad who had 3 days to make some money, or they're going to get kicked out of their home, and they have 6 kids. This isn't no regular mom and dad. They were pumped. They had 6 kids.
True.
And 6 mouths to feed, including them, so 8 mouths to feed. They went on to make $8,000 in 2 weeks, $16,000 in 1 month, and get this, $147,000 their first year.
Wow, that's
From
crazy.
A family that was about to get evicted. There was a single mom who was living off her credit cards. She had a son, right, and that had a similar condition, you know, as my little sister, right? Yeah. And she had no money. She was literally buying groceries on the credit card. That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah.
When you don't have money in the bank, but you got to feed your kids. So you just whip out the credit card and you max it out, right? At least to survive another month, hoping you figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, guess what happened? She got the money to get started. She made $18,000 her first month.
Wow.
She made $240,000 in the first 2 years. She went on to become one of the biggest earners in the program. There was another lady. I'm still really good friends with her to this day because she's one of the most humble leaders I know. Pornthet Molding. Right? Pornthet, she's made over $300,000 now. She joined the Millionaire Mentoring. Like when I was looking at the webinar, she joined with broken English. She could barely speak any English.
Yeah.
Yet in her first year, she went on to make over $100,000 as somebody who didn't speak a lot of English. So it was just story after story after story after story. I'm like, this is the man. I need this strategy. Right. Yeah. And that's when I made a commitment. Right. There's times in your life where you have to decide, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm done looking. You're not looking for nothing else.
Exactly.
You become like those horses with the blinders on.
Yeah.
This is the program. So now I spoke with Darren, and I didn't have the money to get started, but I had a dream. So I said, Darren, give me some time. I'm going to raise the money. Now, because I had the blinders on, I stopped looking. Yeah. I was only focused on, all right, I asked my boss, can I come in on Saturdays? I'll put in 10 hours extra on Saturdays. My boss, obviously, and because it's the food industry, he said, yes.
Sure.
He would like me to be there 7 days a week.
Yeah.
To make a lot more money. It's true.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I started going every Saturday for 4 months, and I finally raised the money. It was hard. My lower back at 20 years old was shredded. My lower back was gone. Because you're working every day for 12 hours a day. It's on your feet, flipping bread that's 30 pounds each, and your back, I'm always hunched over.
Sure.
You have to hunch over. Yeah. Right. So my back was gone, and my feet, anyone who's ever worked a job on your feet all day, even if it's just 8 hours a day,
it hurts.
You know what I'm talking about. Your feet
absolutely.
Sucks. It's like you're walking on glass.
Yeah.
It's not a life. I know it sucks. Whenever I go now these days, whenever I go to those jobs, like I feel for the people. I know what they're going through.
Absolutely. You get a new perspective, right? And you also get a new perspective now, being there, knowing what they're going through, right? It's just so different, you know?
Yeah. So now after that, in 4 months, I finally joined the program. And to put things to perspective, I had exactly $1,400 in the bank, $1,400. The program was $1,350. I went all in, right? I went in for the $1,350. I quit my job because in my mind, after reading enough books, I realized that this is not something I want to do on the side. I don't do anything on the side. I'm a little, my best friends, they know me to be, I'm always on extremes. Yeah, right? Yeah,
exactly. You are the in or you are the out. Yeah.
I'm either completely in it, and I'm going to either succeed or fail.
Yep.
I'm out or I fail.
Yep.
I win or lose. Right. So I quit my job that same week. On Saturday, I was at my dad's house. I joined the program right, for $1,350. That brought my bank account well below my rent. Below my rent. I couldn't pay nothing. If I didn't make money back, I'm done. That would be my last month. Yeah. Right? I'm done. Yeah. So my back's against the wall, and now I have this urgency. There's something that happens to your mind when you don't have a safety net, you don't have a job or something.
Absolutely.
You don't have a cushion, a nest egg you can fall back on, and you have to perform, not because you want to.
Yeah, because you have to. There's no other way.
Now, the good thing is I wanted to as well.
Yeah.
I wanted to make money. I wanted to have,
and that's a strong combination, right? And that's a strong combination to have, right? And you want it to happen, and you need to make it happen, right? So now, you got to go all in, and you're going to be there with your heart, with your mind, with everything.
I was that once. You ever heard the analogy of the general? They were invading an island, and they had to win the fight. So what the general did is that he went to his men at the back, and he said, "Get the torches." Everyone, they all got torches. They light it up. They still don't know what to do. He looks at them and he says, "Throw them at the ships." They looked at him. Like, what? Sure. Throw them at the ships. They all threw at the ships. They burned all the ships. And then the speech he gave, and I'm paraphrasing. Yeah. He basically told his men, if you want to see your family again, if you want to see your country again, if you want to be free, we must win. He didn't say it would be nice to win.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, we either win on this battlefield or we die heroes.
Yep.
But that's the only choice. You either win or you die.
Yep.
Win or you die. That is important because that's what led me to then that same week, my mentor told me this. So my mentor was kind of in my mind like the general. My general told me, look at the training video 6 times minimum and apply what you learn. He didn't say look at them and take your time. And no, he said look at them as quick as you can. 6 times. They're 1 hour each. They're about an hour and a half each. So what did I do? 4 days. Took 4 days. I watched the training videos 8 times minimum because I just had them on repeat over and over and over and over and over and over again. I wasn't working 10 hours a day anymore.
Yeah,
so I just watched videos. I just replaced one thing for another, right? And I started watching the videos 10 plus hours a day. Day number 5, I finally had the confidence. But here's the thing: the videos, when you look at something repetitively, for example, anyone listening to this, chances are very high your breakthrough moment from this interview will come on the 2nd or 3rd watch. Because you're going to catch something that you didn't catch.
Yeah, exactly. Because you weren't ready for that.
Exactly. So after 8 times of watching the videos, it finally just clicked. It made sense. Oh my God, I can make money. This is how I do it. So what did I do? That on day number 5, I just said, you know what? I'm going to sit down for 2 hours because my mentor says set an intention. 2 hours, I am going to make $1,000. I still do this today, right? So 2 hours, I'm going to make $1,000. I applied what my mentor taught me on. We use Facebook without paid ads, just using my wall. And in 2 hours, it was about an hour in, I made my first $1,000 in one day. Here's the perspective, though. I was working at the bread factory. It took 75 hours for me to make $700. 75 hours.
That's crazy. And now all of a sudden.
2 hours.
Yep.
I made more than the 700. I made 1,000. I made 300 above that. Right. So at that moment, what that 1,000 showed me wasn't just that it was real. Everyone goes into the online world. They see all the results.
Yep.
They don't really, in the deepest part of their heart, they don't really know if it's real or not because they haven't done it. But once I did it, it became real to me, and I gained this confidence. I'm like, what if the next logical step is to do the same thing the next day? What if I changed nothing? I do the same thing the next day. That's what I did. I made $1,000 the next day. I made $1,000 the day after that. My first 10 days of application after the initial 4 days of training, I was up $10,000.
Wow.
Another perspective. $10,000 was my goal, was my ultimate dream. If I made my first $10,000, I am set for life. I am rich. I am a beast, right?
Exactly.
And I did that in 10 days. So my mentor, he knew already because he's a millionaire that's trained over thousands of students. He called me right away. He said, Sam, I guarantee your goal was 10,000, wasn't it? Yes. Here's what's going to happen. It's like he told me my whole life story. Here's what's going to happen. Inside your body, there's a temperature gauge. Because you had no money, you quit your job, and you had all this urgency. That temperature gauge was high. Yeah, was hot, right? So you had a fire, like it was hot. When you reach your goal, and you make more money than you've ever made in your life in a month, the temperature gauge starts to get what? Starts to get cool.
Yeah,
and you cool down.
Mm-hmm.
So you no longer have this urgency. You no longer have this energy, this charisma,
this drive, this hunger. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? That never give up attitude.
Yep.
So he called me. He said, Sam, you're thinking small. Imagine that. I've never made 10 grand.
Just made 10,000. You're thinking small. Yeah.
And he's straight out looked in my eyes. Sam, you're thinking too small.
Mm-hmm.
You're only 10 days in. There's 20 days left. Set your goal for 20. I want you to do 20,000. Now, at this point, this guy was like, it works. This strategy works. And imagine, I finally had, because my first millionaire mentor was Andrew Carnegie, right, through the Napoleon Hill book. Mm-hmm. But now I had an actual mentor who's alive on the phone.
Could talk to you.
And he actually told me, Sam, I believe you can do 20K.
Yeah.
Set it for 20K. Set the intention right now, today. And I believed in myself. Without that call, I don't think I would have done it, but I believed in myself. And I'm like, I want to make him proud. Yeah. I want to make him proud. So what did I do? I started repeating the same actions every single day. I started making 1,000, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000. And by the end of my first 30 days, my net income, not gross, my net income, once everything was said and done, was $23,350.
Wow. That's so crazy.
1 month, here's another perspective. In that 1 month, I made more money than I did the whole year prior to that at the factory.
Yeah.
Working 75 hours a week.
That's crazy.
And that, my friend, changed my life forever. And guys, there's a lot of lessons in that. I definitely recommend listening to that full story. There's a lot of lessons that I learned that not only shaped my life, it allowed me to build a lifestyle that I'm happy living. Yeah. Because that's really what life is, right? To find your purpose and if you're living your purpose, you'll never, like, it's funny. My cousin jokes with me all the time. Oh, Sam, are you going to work right now? You're going to work on your thing. I'm like, I'm not really working on anything. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I'm building. I'm
doesn't feel like work.
That wakes me up in the morning, right? It's my passion to help others. And, and I love making money. Who doesn't? I love to make money. And if I can help, when you have something that you can make money and help people, as in really help them, as in you help them grow from within so they become better people, dude, you have a winner, right? You have a winning product. You have a winning formula. And I'm living, and it's funny, now that we're talking about this, I was going to say I'm living testimony, talking about testimony. One of my biggest goals was I wanted to be one of the testimonials. After seeing the webinar, I knew right away.
I want to be that.
If on the next webinar, I was one of the testimonials.
Yep.
And it goes to show when you have a clear intention and you burn all the ships, you have no safety net, and you go all the way in, and you just pay attention to what your mentor says. How crazy is it that I made more money than I dreamed of? Yep. Not only was I a testimonial on the next webinar, I became a testimonial on all the webinars, plus all the interviews, right? And now 2 years later, I'm one of the seniors. I'm one of the seniors in the mentorship group. I'm constantly making content. I've been able to help others. It's just funny. I just had somebody message me. A lot of people, like, when this starts happening to you, man, it's on another level. I just had my friend Paul Gerard. I did a Facebook Live inside the mentorship group. This was yesterday, or I think the day before yesterday. Bro, check this out. Today, I'm trying to find a message here. All right, today he just said, hey, dude, quick thing. I wanted to let you know. I watched your live yesterday, and I told myself last night I was going to attract buyers and help people because I was talking about vibrational resonance, about, surrendering your pride, surrendering your ego, and just being around an environment, being around people that are doing it so that their energy inside of their body shoots into you. Yeah. And now you can, like birds of a feather flock together. You can become one of the birds that are successful. Exactly. Right? Your vibe attracts your tribe. Exactly. And guess what he told me? He just sent me a picture. He made $1,000 today. Oh, $1,000 today, dude. And I woke up to this. I literally woke up to it. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. That somebody just watched my video and it gave them the thing, that thing they needed to go on to make $1,000. And that's what I'm passionate about. That's why I'm always on social media. I'm always producing content. I'm always living what I preach. And that's important. Exactly. I'm living what I preach. I'm a living example of the things I teach and the things my mentor teaches. I'm not perfect neither. I'm still learning. I'm still like just recently I want to buy a new Rolex watch and everything. So I'm going to the Rolex store, trying on the watch, setting my intention. And I want to buy my mom a house. So I spoke with her this morning. I'm like, Mom, right now I'm talking to some realtors and I'm meeting up with realtors. So we can buy a beachside house. So we can at least find it, visit, go inside, go around it.
Just to feel that, how it would feel to you. Yeah.
And then take a picture and put it on my vision board. Right? So I can set a goal to get it.
Yeah.
And that's my story, man. That's where I'm at today.
That's awesome.
That's my goals. For this year, my biggest goal is just to grow. I feel like I'm nowhere near mastering myself. And I want to, every day, I want to get a little by little, I want to get closer. There's a concept called Kaizen.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese concept. And it says never-ending progress.
Exactly.
Never-ending progress.
And that's what life is.
You just want to get 1% better. 1% better. And that's my biggest goal this year. I want to get 1% better with my money, with my business, with my family, with my lifestyle. Right. So I'm super excited about it.
That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing the story. And I think, there are lots and lots and lots of lessons, that we can take from this story and just, from the journey that you went through. And, it's crazy how much you can achieve if you truly have the intention to do something, right? You set yourself the goal, you set yourself the necessity. And I think this keyword, the necessity, is something that a lot of people are missing right now, right? Because a lot of people, they perhaps have a job, right? And they are somewhat comfortable in this little bubble that they have created in the job because they can afford a certain lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
Right? But besides that, going for something outside of the comfort zone and, doing something different that is not having this kind of a job, they perhaps want to do that, right? They have the dream about doing that. They have the thoughts about doing that, but there's no real necessity. Like they don't want it like bad enough. It's just a dream. Exactly. Right. And it's just crazy. It goes to show, with all the testimonies, that you shared and also your story as well, if you truly have the drive, the necessity, the will to make it happen, then do you agree that every single one of us can become successful in life?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Here's a funny thing. And I learned this because I didn't come from a family of success. I came from just a regular working class family. Right? Yeah. We work hard. Their life, and I know because I just look at my family, they work at a job until 60 something and retire, like regular working class.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, just the regular path of horribleness, whatever. Yeah. The universe is mental. That's the number one universal law. The universe is mental. Everything around you, even right now, you that's watching, you that's watching, the phone you're watching from, or if you're watching your computer, did you know that it first existed in the mind of somebody, or in the mind of a couple people, and then it manifested into reality? The world is mental, right? And when you look at, and I want people to do this actually, look at the definition of success. The definition of success, like watch, hey Google, what's the definition of success?
Here's the definition of success. The accomplishment of an aim or purpose.
The accomplishment of an aim or purpose. What's your aim?
The biggest accomplishment on Spotify.
Hey Google, pause.
The technology.
Right, it goes to show. What's your aim?
Yeah.
What do you want to accomplish? A lot of people working a job, I know this because I lived it.
True.
We didn't have goals. We didn't have aims. We had dreams, but there was nothing to hit. There was no target. There's no aim. So when people tell me they want to be successful, I always ask them, what's your dream? What do you want to achieve?
Yeah.
And when they say, I don't know, I already know why they're where they're at.
Yeah.
Because they have no clear direction. It's almost like you get on a boat and, let's say you want to go somewhere. You want to go to a specific island. If you imagine you get on the boat, but you make no plans. You don't know where the island is. You don't even know what it's called. You don't know what direction to go. What's going to happen? You're going to get lost at sea.
Exactly.
And guess what? And that's an analogy for life. The sea, the ocean of life, you're the boat. You're going to get lost, right? Your body, your mind is the boat, and you're the driver. And you
Exactly.
will get lost in the ocean of life unless you know where your destination is. Think of a cruise ship. I guarantee you the captain of a cruise ship, they have these advanced GPSs and everything that tells them where to go, because they know if we don't know where to go, we're going to get lost.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to know where you're going. So if you want to be successful, then by definition, you want to get clear on your aim or your purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you
Totally
have
agree.
one of those two things, you'll know where to go. So yes, anyone can be successful if they have an aim or a purpose, because by definition, that's what success is.
Exactly. And it's incredibly important to, you know, really sit down and think about, like, what do I want out of life? Like, what kind of reality do I want to be living? Because that's, you know, a step that most people simply do not take, because, you know, they're so used to living that life, and, you know, they think to themselves, oh, you know, there's nothing I can truly do. They feel kind of stuck, and they do not take the time out of the day to truly sit down, be honest with themselves, you know, and make a step-by-step plan, right?
Exactly.
And also
I forgot who said this. I had a really good friend. I forgot, he's on Facebook. I saw him post this before. And it made a lot. I agree with it big time. It said this: everything in your life, you do it by choice. Think of it. You go to that job by choice. Nobody is forcing you to get in your car, get dressed, and go to that job. You go by choice. You may tell me, yes, Sam, but I have a family. I got to feed them. You're feeding them, and you're taking care of them by choice.
By choice. Exactly.
By choice. Everything's by choice. To the same coin, right? In the same coin, your ability to succeed, to actually take time for yourself, write down your goals, get really clear on your intentions, and actually have an objective, that's also by choice.
Yeah,
you can become successful by choice, or you can struggle by choice, but you always have a choice.
Exactly. You always have a choice.
You're fully responsible for your life. Nobody else is. You're everything in your life. Even right now, that computer you have, that phone you have it by choice. You may say yes, but you know what? I just didn't have the money to get my dream phone. The reason you don't have the money was also by choice, because the money you earn right now, you're getting paid that hourly wage by choice, because you're deciding, I'm okay getting paid this amount of money per hour. It is all by choice. That is step number one. Step number one of success is getting clear. Step number two is taking responsibility. Taking responsibility for yourself.
And I love that. I love that, because I actually just made a video which is going to be launched, you know, by the time this video is out, it's already got to be launched. But now I talked about how you create your own reality, and basically everything you have to do is by choice, right? And you always have a choice. Like, even though your life might suck right now, right? Maybe you are stuck, maybe you have a job, you have, you know, a family to feed, and you think that there's nothing else you can do, but there is, because it's still your choice, even though it might feel extremely uncomfortable to get out of your comfort zone, to perhaps, you know, quit your job and find a new one, to work a side hustle until your side hustle makes more money than your main job, right? But it's still your choice. And that's, you know, exactly the video that I just created, actually, where I've been talking about that. So definitely a good point. But also something that I want to, you know, pick on is that this point of hitting rock bottom, right? Because I feel like, unfortunately, for most people, they first need to experience this rock bottom part before they actually realize that there is something that they need to do, right? Why do people go to doctors? Because they're sick, but they do not take care of themselves, like, beforehand, right? Only if it's too late, they notice that, and the doctor tells them, like, you need to, you know, exercise, you need to eat healthy food, even though that's something they knew beforehand, right? So unfortunately, it's like, do not wait until something like this happens. Do not wait until you get sick, until you lose everything, before you realize, hey, you know, there's something I need to change in my life right now. Rather do that right now.
That's definitely easier said than done. Right? Because the mind, it's funny, when you look into the science of the human brain, I'm all about that. I love studying that stuff, right? Especially now that with the technology, they've made so many advances. One of the things that neuroscientists have discovered was that the brain will always choose the path of least resistance.
Absolutely.
By nature, it'll always choose the easiest path. For example, if the easiest path is not going to gym, because you feel happy and comfortable at your house, and you feel comfortable not working out, your brain loves it. It's like, okay, that's the easiest
that's
path.
fine.
I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to get in my car. I'm tired from work. I don't want to go to the gym. the brain, and that's your mind. I guarantee you guys, you guys know, you guys are probably nodding at this. That voice inside your head, it tells you these things. It's telling you a story, right? Because it's good at telling. It's your ego. Your ego is a storyteller. It's gonna be like, we should go to gym, but did you get to that guy, that call? Did you follow up with this person? Did you watch this show? Did you watch this video? Did you do this? Did you do that? And then by the end of the day, you're definitely not going to go, right? And guess what happens? You're going to be, you know what? Tomorrow. You know how many people today are living? They're living life with tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tomorrow I'm going to do it. Tomorrow I'm going to do it. You only get so many tomorrows before you're gone, right? And when I realize that, like, usually by 60 years old, that's when people hit the holy shit button, where they're like, I'm already 60.
Yeah, it's like, where did time go? Like,
they're like, I wish I was your age, Sam. You guys have heard that? I wish.
Oh, I do.
Sam. Well, they were my age. They just didn't take the responsibility at that time because of their own life experience. But they were my age before. They can't blame anyone else. That's their fault, right? And you tell people that not to attack them. That's the truth. People need to hear the truth. You know how many, I've heard so many stories of guys who have done it, right? That they don't tell the truth.
Yeah.
Like, when I listen to an interview or when I watch somebody successful, telling their story and all that, when everything's all roses, right? And I don't hear any, dude, I know they're lying. I'm like,
exactly.
I know you've gone through shit. Right? Tell the truth. Tell people the truth. Look, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to put in a lot of hours. It's going to be hard work. You're going to have to, if you want to get things you've never gotten before, you have to become a different person.
Absolutely.
Because the reason you have the life you have and you have the items and the things you have is because you are the way you are.
Yeah.
And until you change who you are, because that's the thing, that's the one thing we human beings, that's what separates us from animals.
Yep.
We can reinvent ourselves.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that before? Right? We can reinvent ourselves at any moment. Today, you can decide, I'm going to reinvent myself. All right, let me get clear. What are my money beliefs? What do I believe about success? Whenever somebody tells me on Facebook, you want to learn how to make $10,000, what goes through my head? A lot of people will be like, oh, bullshit. Guess what? They're broke. Yeah, bullshit. For them, I'll make 10 grand. Bullshit for them. When I see someone tell me, hey, you want to learn a method to make 10 grand? Yes. Yes, I'm open-minded. I want to learn more. I want to make more. Right? I'm open and I'm receiving. Because guess what? The universe knows you want to make money, so it'll present you an opportunity to do it. But when you say you don't want it, it'll go to the next.
Don't get it. Yeah.
Right. And you better believe that I'm in line. That I am. The moment I see the opportunity, if you miss your chance, I'm taking the opportunity. Yeah. Right. Because that's the way the universe works, and it's so abundant. There's no competition, but just know that when you say no to an opportunity, there's on the other side, because the universe has to balance itself. On the other side, there's somebody that's saying yes, and guess what? They may be the ones to go on to become a millionaire.
Exactly. Right? So the lesson that we definitely need to take out of that is to really be radically open-minded, right? Because I know that a lot of people, they go through, especially when it comes to, having an online career or an online job, right? Yes, there are tons of different scams out there, right? And we have all experienced that, and people get jaded and people get frustrated with them, and that's completely clear. But there's still a lot of, really honest gems out there which truly have the potential to change your life.
Yeah, but unfortunately, honestly, I think there's as many good programs as there are scams. Like, it's not that there's a lot of great programs. Yeah. Right. And a lot of times people they may be in it right now and they're not making money. So they're like, maybe what I joined is bullshit. But here's the thing. This is actually what happens more. It's not that the program sucks. It's that you suck. Yeah. Listen to that again, guys. It's not that the program sucks. Is that you at your current skill level suck. And you have to be okay with that. You have to accept it. And then you have to start, because once you know you suck, dude, I still suck. I still tell myself I still suck, because there's guys that are doing exactly what I do in the exact same career I am, and they're making 10 times more than I am. Yeah. I still suck. But that's why every day
you learn
a little less. Yeah, every day I get 1% better. I get better. And then when I reach a certain skill level, it doesn't even matter what program I join. I'm always going to make money. I'm always, do you know those people that no matter what they do in life, they're always successful because they focus on building the probably the number one factor to success. They focus on building their character, on building their values.
Yeah.
They build the inside. Before they look out, they build the inside first.
Yeah.
Think of it. I was reading books at the factory, building the inside so that when an opportunity in the outside presents itself, I'm internally ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready and I'm receiving. Right. So that's probably the number one thing. People just need to accept that it's not the program many times.
It's you. Yeah.
It's you. It's you.
And I love the fact, because we are both reading the same book right now, which is called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
I'm actually I'm almost done with it, man. It's an
amazing book. It's an amazing book. And, one of the things that, I just stumbled upon is, the saying that, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. Right. And I think this is so powerful, right? Because when you open up and when you develop yourself and your personality and truly work on yourself every single day, and, that's a long journey. It's not something that you do once and then it's done. It's literally something that you do every single day. And only when you get to a stage where you believe in yourself, where you believe in the ability and the chances that are out there, right, that the universe has prepared for you, the universe is going to give you this opportunity which you have been looking for. But you got to be ready for that. And unless you are not ready, you will not find this opportunity with whatever you're trying to do.
People are asking, like, what's the name? The name of the book, guys, is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Very hard name to forget.
Absolutely amazing book.
Dude, you reminded me too. Another great quote from the book. This is probably my quote of the week because it's so good.
Yeah.
You must empty your cup. You must empty your cup. What does that mean? For those of you that maybe haven't heard Bruce Lee say, you must empty your cup, right? Basically, I want you to imagine this. Imagine you have a cup. You have a cup and you have a gallon of water. You're filling the cup and it's reaching the top, but you keep on pouring the water. And guess what? What happens then? It starts to overflow. Now it's just going to spill because the cup cannot hold any more water.
Exactly.
So here's the analogy. The water is the knowledge. Your mind is the cup.
Yeah.
When you don't empty your cup and you're so sold on your preconceived knowledge that you've learned in the past that maybe doesn't even benefit you anymore. When somebody is pouring in new knowledge into your mind, into your cup, but your cup's already full, it's going to overflow and it's just going to spill and be wasted.
Exactly.
So when you're learning, when you don't have the life you want, but you're listening to people that have the life, that are giving you knowledge, empty your mind and become receiving, almost as if you're a little kid, you're going to school and you're learning a new subject, empty your mind. And when that person is pouring knowledge into your mind, like the cup, you let it fill your mind. And that's important. I mean, I just recently spoke to my millionaire mentor. This was 2 days ago, literally 2 days ago, Friday. And that quote helped me. Because when my mentor was teaching me all these things, he's like, Sam, dude, you're ready for the next level. Quite honestly, dude, there's no reason why in the next 2 to 3 years you cannot make $1 million. Because I did it. Or he did it. But I had to empty my cup. I had to stop trying to do things my way. I'm not a millionaire, guys. I've made 6 figures, but I'm nowhere near a millionaire yet. For a reason. Right? Because my cup has always been full. I wasn't coachable. But just recently on Friday, my mentor said, look, Sam, these are the steps you got to do. Well, I don't know about you, but when my millionaire mentor, like when his mentor told him to do the things, he's like, okay.
All right, I'm going to empty my cup.
You're the man. Right? And he did it. So he basically said, without saying it, he said, empty your cup and accept the knowledge I just gave you and act on it. Act on it. Right?
That's very powerful.
Dude, that right there will probably, who knows, we might do an interview a year or two from now, right? And talk about the first million, and it'll be a build up from this. Pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Awesome. No, so many, golden nuggets that we are dropping, right here. I hope you guys, at home sitting there are excited and I'm making notes because it's truly gold. And I love that, just having this conversation about certain things and, just all of a sudden, something pops up which is so valuable and that you can use for your own life in order to, become your best self in the end, right? Yeah. So while we're on the topic of books, if you were to recommend a person that is just starting out, perhaps they want to get more into personal development. They perhaps want to, see what else is out there. They want to get out of their comfort zone, and they want to build their dreams. If you had to recommend only 3 books for the rest of their lives, which 3 books would that be?
It's funny. I have all 3 books here with me.
All right.
Oh, and I have one of them is in my closet, but I have 2 of them here. Book number 1. Now that I've read it, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. By far, I wish I would have known about this book 2 or 3 years ago. Nice. My life would be different. I would have made a lot more money. I'm telling you guys now, I would have made more money. I would have more peace. I would have more happiness. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. This should probably be the first book you read. First book.
And also, while you're on it, right? The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, why I love this book so much is that it's knowledge built into a story. So it's fun to read, right? And and you're still learning, right? And that's sometimes with personal development books, they can be sometimes hard to read because it's like pure knowledge all the time. And it's hard to remember that. But with that kind of story, you literally remember every single thing from that. And it's so fun to read. So that's why I totally agree. Read that book. Get it. I'm going to link it in the description down below.
And
so go ahead. Sorry.
The book will teach you timeless principles that have been alive for over 5,000 years. And they have worked to this day. Right? So highly recommend this. This is book 1. Book number 2 is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. By T. Harv By T. Harv Eker. Right? This book will help you get your money right. If you've never been rich, if you're like me, you were born in a working class family, nobody knows how to get rich, therefore nobody in your family, including you, you're not rich, get this book. This book will help you change your money blueprint.
Yep.
And it's funny, T. Harv Eker talks about the urgency, burning the ships, right? It'll help you change your money blueprint, and it'll also show you, once you make money, how do you multiply it? And that's the stage that I'm studying the most right now. How do I, because I know how to make money now, but how do I multiply it? And the book is teaching me that. So this is book 2. Book number 3, which is inside my closet with the rest of the books, it's called Law of Attraction. Law of Attraction by Michael J. Lozier. Now I know what you're thinking. Law of Attraction, Sam. Is this going to be one of those foo-foo books that you're going to talk about this magical force? No. This book is extremely practical. It is the best book on the Law of Attraction that I've ever read. Why? Because it makes logical sense. Think of it. The formula that Michael teaches, and I'm not going to spoil it too much, your words influence your thoughts. Your thoughts influence how you feel. They produce a feeling. Your feelings inspire action. Positive or negative, inspire action. Right? The book is going to show you how to master your words. That's step 1. How to master your words. And then master your thoughts. And then master your feelings. And then master your actions. Master your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And I don't want to go too deep into it, but guys, success is a radio broadcast frequency. I learned this from my mentor, Darren Little. Success is a radio broadcast frequency. I want you to think about it. And guys, think real clearly here. Think of it. When a bank is sending money to another bank, do you think they're physically taking the cash from bank to bank? Do you think they're actually hauling millions of dollars in a van? No, because that van will get blown up instantly and will get stolen, right?
Exactly.
They are transmitting the money digitally from antennas in space that controls the internet, antennas from bank to bank, right? Millions of dollars.
Yep.
10, 100,
simply like that.
Even billions. Billions of dollars are instantly transmitted into a radio broadcast wave, because it needs to turn into a wave in order for it to reach the satellite and then get spit back to the computers in the other bank, right? So there's money out there. It's actually in front of you right now, in front of me. It's flowing. It's literally in the air. It's in the radio waves.
Grab it,
right?
grab it, start grabbing it, guys.
Get some, right? But imagine what tunes you, like a tuning fork, what tunes you into those waves is how you feel. Your feelings are the gateway. But in order for you to feel it, you need to first master your words. And then your thoughts, because your thoughts will influence your feelings. And if you feel good, you feel success. It goes to show success is really just a feeling. Success is accomplishing something. And whenever you can actually feel how it would feel to accomplish something right now. Like imagine you want to make $1 million, ask yourself, what if, let's just play around. What if I made $1 million today? How would it feel? Man, it would feel so good. I would feel so I would feel like I finally did it. Guess what? You're feeling the $1 million right now. I know it, but you're feeling it now. So what are you broadcasting? You're broadcasting out a similar vibration, a similar radio wave that's going to match the $1 million that is out there already in radio waves. You're transmitting at a similar frequency, and it's going to go instead of going from bank to bank,
it's going to go to you.
From bank to some of it to the bank, but then some of it's going to go to your bank. Right? It's going to transmit to you. Now, I know a lot of people, they're calling bullshit. Guys, do your own research. Do your due diligence. If you've never done it, do your own due diligence. Study this stuff. If you're serious, maybe you don't really want to make money.
And that's also
why you're watching this then, but guys, if you're serious about it, do your research. This stuff is real. This stuff is real.
That's also, be radically open-minded about that stuff, guys, right? Because, stuff like that is what the people that are on this higher level, that's what they learn about, right? That's what they know. There's no coincidence why a lot of the super successful, rich people know about that stuff, right? Because it works. So why do the people at the bottom call bullshit on that while the people at the top know that this is fact and this works?
Yeah, it's because they don't know what they don't know.
I don't think
that's
so.
Why, though.
Yeah,
they don't know.
They don't know, right?
No, imagine when you look at here's a good example. I just had a friend of mine. He made $100,000 last month. If I were to tell that to just a regular person, like to myself, when I was working at the bread factory, I wouldn't believe it.
No way.
I don't have anybody in my family that's ever made that. I don't have anybody in my friends that's ever made that. So it's not that it's not true. It's just that it's not true for me because I've never done it.
Yeah. You just can't just see yourself doing that,
You can't see yourself doing it, so you don't know what you don't know. That's what keeps people broke. But here's the thing. Here's my angle that you can break that cycle, right, by getting a mentor, surrounding yourself by people that are at that vibration, and adopting their words, adopting their thoughts. So eventually you become one of them. It's almost like you are who you surround yourself with. These days, I almost exclusively only talk to people who are doing it. Who are successful. Do I still hang out with my best friend? Of course, they're my brothers. But do I spend a lot of time with them? No. I try spending more time with my millionaire mentors, my millionaire friends. I just interviewed a young guy, Dylan Fine. Right, he made his first $1 million at 24.
Wow,
he's a guy I want to talk with more.
Yeah, exactly.
He's literally 3 years older than me, and he made his first million. I'm 23. He made his first million at 24. You know how excited that makes me?
Absolutely.
Knowing that it's possible to do that by 24, and I'm 23. So there's different levels. You have to, if anyone here is, you don't believe that stuff is possible, you're not hanging around the right people. I highly recommend you change your circle, and you can do that easily by just investing in programs, investing in masterminds, investing to just gain access. Gain access to a group of people that are at this high frequency, so that you can at least surround yourself with that mindset. And eventually you become one of them.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. It's so right? Because I have been on a lot of seminars, right, where you literally have people all around you who were like super pumped up. Their energy was high, and you could just like feel it, right? You could just feel that you are basically becoming, one of them. And it's so crazy when you talk to those people, you really notice that they're using other words. They are more positive. They're more, thoughtful about what kind of words are they using. And, sometimes it's just like, you would say a certain thing and, they counter it and they, tell you like, have you thought about, saying it this way, right? Because sometimes we say like, oh, there's this problem, and they would say, hey, think about it as a challenge, right? It's not a problem. It's a challenge that you need to overcome. And just these minor things, those, shifts in your mind.
They're motivating, dude. Like, when you surround yourself with those people, they'll always call you on like what you're not doing. Like, they'll tell you,
exactly.
Look,
they will tell you.
Whenever somebody complains to me, and this is for me too, whenever I complain. And thankfully, I have good friends that they tell me, okay, so what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, always. Exactly.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do?
Oh, man, I just lost my house. Damn, dude, that sucked. It's happened to me before. So what are you going to do about it?
Exactly.
What are you going to do now? What's the solution? Here's the thing. To gain success, you cannot operate from victimhood.
Exactly. Yep.
Because a victim is a victim. And here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, a lot of victims, they fall in the trap of surrounding themselves and looking for other victims so that they
Mm-hmm.
can justify their story.
Yep. So you
And now
just
it
feel
becomes a
good about
cycle.
themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a cycle of victimhood.
Yep.
So you can make again, it goes back to life is a choice. Everything in
Mm-hmm.
life is a choice. You can make the choice to, even though, let's say whoever's watching, maybe you're going
Mm-hmm.
through something like that's bad. You are at the low, your breaking point. You're at
Yeah.
rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Make the choice to look at it from a different perspective, to
Mm-hmm.
look at it from a victor. Right, what is this teaching me? What is
Mm-hmm.
rock bottom teaching me? What did I not see that got me here?
Yeah.
Because you got there from something you did. You can
Mm-hmm.
blame the economy, you can blame business partners, you can blame friends, but guess what? You made the choice to get that
Yep.
business partner. You made the choice to
Mm-hmm.
be in the business that you're in. You made the choice to have the friends you have. What
Yep.
did you learn from it? How can you grow
Mm-hmm.
from it? And now, what are you going to do about it? What's your
Exactly.
intention? What's your
Yeah.
intention? What's your next goal? How are
Mm-hmm.
you going to get out of it? And it may
Yeah.
take you a week to just sit down and write it on paper and think. It may
Mm-hmm.
take you a month, but take the time with yourself. Right?
Mm-hmm.
When you give time for yourself, life is going to give you time. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I like to think of it like this. Now, this is a little spiritual. Not everyone's going to agree with this,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe in God, and I believe
Mm-hmm.
that God, it's not just a being, it's a thing that exists inside of all of us. God
Mm-hmm.
exists, like everything is mental. We live in the mind
Mm-hmm.
of God, and God lives inside of all of his creation.
Mm-hmm.
So when you love yourself, when you give yourself time, even if it's just an hour a day,
Mm-hmm.
what you're really doing is you're giving God time. You're
Yeah.
giving God time. And here's the thing that I know about God. You give God anything and he
Mm-hmm.
multiplies. He is a
Mm-hmm.
multiplier. You give God time, he gives you a multiple of time. So
Yeah.
instead of it taking, let's say it took you a whole month of loving yourself, giving
Mm-hmm.
yourself time, right, in order for you to, get out of your situation, instead
Mm-hmm.
of the natural progression of it taking you a year or two to get back from rock bottom back to the top,
Mm-hmm.
God multiplies. He'll literally shrink the time so
Mm-hmm.
that instead of a year, maybe it only takes 3 months. Because
Yeah.
God will then start, because when things work from God's time, guys, he turns the impossible to I'm possible. He makes
Mm-hmm.
something that seems like it's unrealistic to real, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you think may take a year may only take 2 months. Why?
Yep.
Because God is in it. God, you're
Mm-hmm.
invited. I learned this from Joel Osteen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm thinking back of what I learned from it. It's so powerful. I
Yeah.
live like this. A lot of people, so even people that do not believe in God, when
Mm-hmm.
they're in their time of need, they
Mm-hmm.
pray.
Mm-hmm.
They pray, right? They do, because they're
Yeah.
like, they have nothing else to lose. They're like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Screw it. Let me pray.
Yeah.
Now Joel said, instead of praying for God to get you out of a situation,
Mm-hmm.
pray for God to enter
Mm-hmm.
your situation.
Mm-hmm.
Invite him in.
Mm-hmm.
Invite him in your situation. He told the story about these 3 teen boys.
Mm-hmm.
The king was very mad at them because the king was telling these boys, I want you to worship, like kneel down to me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Kneel down to these idols that are gods. And the boys said, I kneel down to nobody but our God, but God.
Mm-hmm.
So when the king got pissed and he said,
Mm-hmm.
whip out the furnace, his guards turned the furnace hot, so
Mm-hmm.
hot that one of the guards died for being too close to it because it was just
Wow.
too hot and freaking
Yeah.
just wiped out, right? The teens entered the furnace. And guys, don't take this all literal. There's a big message
Mm-hmm.
here. The teens entered the furnace.
Mm-hmm.
You would think they would burn alive. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
crazy thing. When one of the guards with like a device opened the door because the king wanted to see if the kids were already burned for angering him, not only did they see the 3 teens in there
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine, they saw a 4th person in there.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't identify him, but they found
Mm-hmm.
a 4th person in there because Jesus said, right, that he is with us. He is with you. God is with you, and Jesus is God. God is Jesus, and God's
Yeah.
inside of all of us,
Mm-hmm.
and we're inside of him. When you invite the boys, they prayed and they invited God into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then things started happening. Miracles happened on God's timing. God said, you
Yeah.
know what? This fire shall not burn you. Guess what? Your situation is the fire. Your life is the furnace. And the situation that you're in right now, that's the fire. And then if you invite God into the fire with you, he will guide you out.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Did Jesus not say, I am the good shepherd? I am the good shepherd. What does a shepherd do? A shepherd leads his flock. And God wants to lead you and can lead you out of your situation if, and only if, you invite him in, because we have free will. God, through universal law, when he made all of creation, said, I will not disturb your life. I will not dictate your life. I will not take away what I made you like me. I have free will. God can create whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Guess what? You have the choice to create whatever you want, whenever you want, and whatever quantity you want to create it at, right? So, but if you want God to be in, you have to personally tell him through your own free will, God, I surrender. I set it my way. I want your way.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
And God will help you get out of the situation a lot faster than you thought. A lot faster. Jesus said that whatever you want, he will provide you in overflow. As in, you want to make, maybe your goal is to make $10,000. When you invite God in, God is a multiplier. Your intention is 10. What may come into your life is 30. 40. In a lot less time than you thought possible, because in God's realm, time doesn't really exist.
Exactly.
In God's realm, he can very well, you can literally feel like playing the lottery today and tomorrow wake up a millionaire. If that's what God's timing was for you. God saw through your free will, right? And because your soul, and this is goes spiritual, your soul, I do believe, I spoke with my millionaire mentor about, guys, millionaires, they have these thoughts. I speak with them about this, right? And I'm more like they speak, I just absorb. I absorb, right? Your soul chooses, I need you guys to be open-minded here. Your soul, before it enters the body, chooses the life it wants to have. And it chooses to go through pain and to go through struggle, because it knows that if it can survive that and overcome those things, not only can it gain more experience living in God's creation, it'll be able to enjoy a different perspective that it's never enjoyed before. It'll become a better person. It'll become a more wiser soul, right? So your soul, everything that's happening to you is actually by your choice, not just in reality. Your soul chose the life. It chose. You were born in a poor family. You were born in a poor country. Your soul chose that, because maybe in prior lives, your soul chose to be born in a rich family. So it knows that experience. It doesn't want to experience the same thing, because that's boring. It wants to have fun. God wants to have fun. He wants to experience everything. You choose your life even before you enter life.
That's crazy.
So then that's the cool thing, isn't it? You can actually invite the Creator inside, because the Creator lives within creation. So,
and I think that
amazing. Awesome. Right.
And it doesn't need to be, specifically only God, right? Because, perhaps people do not believe in God, but they believe in the high power, right? Exactly.
I call him God.
I
have no other name for him. When I call him God, it's easier for me to remember. I feel him, right? You can call it, you can call him Ted. Think of it. If God is within everyone, and we all have our own name on planet Earth, God's name is everyone's name. He doesn't have a specific name, because he is everything. So God you can literally call God Robert.
Exactly.
Robert, right?
I like that.
God knows. Because God doesn't just listen to your words. No higher vibrational being, like when you go to now going to dimensions and all that, no higher vibrational being listens to words alone. They can actually communicate through feelings, through the truth. What's under the words? What's behind the thoughts you're having? What's the actual things you're trying to say, right? When you say, even right now, like I'm feeling love and gratitude, like that's God, right? That's God. God knows, and I know, right? You'll know when you invite God in, you'll feel the wave of goosebumps. You'll feel it. You'll be like, oh my God, you exist. The universe exists, right? Whoever it is you believe in, it's out there.
It's
you
out
just
there.
have to invite them in, because they can't, even though God wants to help, even though, let's say, if you believe in archangels and angels, guardian angels, it wants to help you. These higher powers, they want to help you. but they cannot help you unless you give them permission.
Let them in. Yeah.
Because God gave you the same power that he has. Unless you give things permission to enter your life,
they won't. Yeah.
And that's powerful when you set goals. Imagine if you don't set the goal that you want to be rich, you want to make money, you won't become. The experience itself does not have permission to enter your life. And because you're a creator, you can literally say, I don't want you in my life.
I don't want that. Yeah.
Right. Or you
that's
can
so
say,
true.
I give this experience permission.
Yep.
It may be different than the programming, the way I programmed life when I was a soul and I was programming what my life, what my destiny was. I allowed this separate experience to enter my life because I want it. I want it. Right, dude. There's so many layers, and I'm nowhere near. Like, even I don't understand half of the things that I said. I heard my mentor talk about this, and I heard this from more than one millionaire. I heard this from many of my millionaire friends. They all voice it differently, but they all voice the same message. So I'm like, I don't know what the real message is, but I know it's not real. It's real.
That's crazy.
It's real. Right. I know it's real. You know.
And it's just crazy, like how much there is that we are still haven't discovered, right? About because like exactly. You know, things like that. We never really think about that, or we do not really, believe, to be that true. But there are things out there that are simply crazy, right? And we just need to be open-minded and learn about that, right? So we are getting close to the end of the podcast because I wanted to keep them around 1 hour. But before we end that, right, there's just one more question which I want to ask you, and that is, if you were able to teach the whole world one concept, like one thought process, one mindset, one concept, to have the biggest and most positive impact for the whole world, what would that be?
I want to answer that question with a story, an analogy. When we first go to school, do we go to school with no one to teach us something? Or what do we usually have when we first start school? Let's say we're in first grade. We usually have a teacher. Why? Because without the teacher, we don't know what we don't know. The teacher, they've already done the work. They've already studied it. So they studied it enough that they know how to teach it. Why is it that when we enter business and we want to make money, we try doing it on our own? It's kind of backwards, isn't it? It's backwards to the way we were raised. We were raised to have a teacher, and the teacher, when the student is ready, the teacher will teach you. So the number one thing, if I can only give one message to the whole world that's watching, everyone that's listening, surrender your pride, surrender your ego, and get a mentor. Get a teacher. Spend the money. Spend the money. Whatever it takes. If that teacher tells you it's gonna, you know what, I don't want your money, but you're gonna have to go skydiving. You have to prove to me that you're courageous, because I look for courageous people. If you want your dream, you better go spend the money, book the skydive, and videotape it or take a picture as you're skydiving, because I know now they get the selfie sticks to take it, right? And do it, right? And get the mentor, because that mentor, they're going to save you years of your life. Right? They're going to save you time. They're going to save you money that you won't have to spend trying to learn all the stuff that he knows or that she knows. No, they know already. Just pay their price, do whatever it takes to get them. And if you empty your cup, they will pour all the knowledge they've accumulated over the years into you, right? And now you'll be able to reach their results, not in 30 years like it took them. But maybe in 10 years, maybe in 5. Some people do it in 2. Some people do it in 1. Right? So get a mentor. That would be my biggest thing. Surrender pride, surrender your ego, get a mentor.
Yes. And don't be afraid, guys, to invest in yourself, honestly, because like the best investment that you can make is truly in yourself. And I know sometimes it seems like it's a lot of money, but when you think about it, right, that if you spend $1,000 and you can honestly grow so much in your life, like, and you can go on to be making, millions of dollars because of this one investment that started off this whole journey, then don't you think it's going to be worth it, right? Like, I love that, right? Because we do not invest enough in ourselves, not in our knowledge, not with the time that we spend on things that are honestly enjoyable and make us happy to us, but also we do not spend enough money on, going to seminars, reading more books, and all of that.
Put it to you like this. I spoke to my mentor Friday, the same conversation we spoke about the whole spiritual side of stuff, because I asked him about it.
Yeah.
Dude, right now, even today, he's currently spending $1,500 per month.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's like my rent. That's like more than my rent per month.
Yep, exactly.
On investing in himself, growing in personal development, becoming a better marketer, becoming a better person, right? Because your income can never exceed your level of personal development.
Exactly. It just simply goes hand in hand, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to end this podcast right here because I love, this end quote that your income cannot exceed the level of personal development that you have. So guys, if you need, rewatch the whole interview again, because there are tons of different, golden nuggets that you learned, or that you can learn from this podcast, and, apply them in your life. Be radically open-minded, right? And honestly, invest in yourself. And that will give you the opportunity to, go on a journey to become your best self and really learn more about what it is that you want. So take the time, sit down, come up with the reality that you want to live. That's basically the first step. And then honestly decide, what do you want to do with your life? And then simply go take action. So at this point, Samuel, I just want to thank you so much, for taking the time. It was an awesome interview. I hope that the viewers at home learned a bunch of new things and are simply excited to, live their best life. And yeah, is there anything else you would love to end this interview with?
Yeah, follow me on Facebook, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you guys want to find me,
in the description down below.
Literally search up Samuel Mojica, and I didn't even know I'm the first search result on Facebook. Yeah. You don't know, you'll see my smile. Just look for the guy that's smiling, and you'll find
awesome.
Me.
Awesome. I'll also leave the link in the description down below. So if you want to hit up Samuel, then go ahead, click the link in the description, and reach out to him. He will, give his time to you, and he will answer any question that you might have, about perhaps his business as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this interview. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Leave this video a thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notified whenever I upload a new video and come up with a new Your Best Self podcast session. So with that said, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.